Breaking Mzansi insider reports. South Africa's political landscape has been rocked by a dramatic confrontation between the ruling African National Congress (ANC) and the opposition Democratic Alliance (DA). At the center of the storm is a controversial billboard showing Panyaza Lesufi apparently enjoying a luxury hotel shower while many residents struggle with dry taps. The billboard campaign, reportedly linked to messaging from the DA and strongly defended by Helen Zille, has triggered a political and legal showdown. The ANC issued a 12-hour ultimatum demanding the removal of the billboard, arguing that it misrepresents the situation and potentially violates election rules. However, Zille and her allies have made it clear they have no intention of backing down, framing the campaign as political accountability rather than misinformation. The hotel shower controversy. The billboard highlights a moment that critics say symbolizes the growing frustration among ordinary citizens. While communities across Johannesburg continue to experience frequent water shortages and infrastructure failures, the image of a senior leader enjoying a comfortable hotel shower has become a powerful political symbol. Supporters of the campaign argue that it reflects a deeper issue, the widening gap between political leadership and the daily struggles of residents. The R300 billion infrastructure bombshell. Beyond the billboard drama lies a far more serious crisis. Analysts and city reports suggest that Johannesburg faces a massive infrastructure backlog estimated at around R300 billion. This includes failing water pipes, aging sewage systems, electricity infrastructure, and neglected roads. Yet the funds available to address these problems are dramatically smaller. The city reportedly has only about R1.7 billion allocated for critical infrastructure repairs, a figure that critics say barely scratches the surface of the real problem. The controversy surrounding the Lesufi shower billboard has quickly grown from a simple campaign poster into a full-blown political battle. What was meant to be a striking piece of campaign messaging has now triggered legal threats, public outrage, and intense national debate. The African National Congress argues that the billboard is misleading and violates the country's electoral rules. According to the party, the advertisement unfairly portrays Panyaza Lesufi in a way that damages his reputation while the province is already working to address infrastructure challenges. But the Democratic Alliance sees the situation very differently. Senior figures in the party, including Helen Zille, have framed the billboard as legitimate political speech, saying voters deserve to see the contrast between political leadership and the lived reality of ordinary citizens. For many observers, the billboard's power lies in its visual symbolism. Water shortages have become a daily struggle across parts of Johannesburg and other areas in the province. Communities often go days without reliable water supply due to aging pipes, infrastructure failures, and maintenance backlogs. Against that backdrop, the image of a leader enjoying a comfortable hotel shower has struck a nerve with frustrated residents. The strategy behind the billboard. Political analysts say the campaign is part of a broader strategy by opposition parties to highlight governance failures ahead of upcoming elections. Instead of long policy speeches, modern campaigns increasingly rely on powerful visuals and simple messages that resonate with voters. The billboard does exactly that. In a single image, it raises a question many residents are already asking: why are basic services collapsing in one of Africa's biggest cities? For the DA, the goal appears to be turning service delivery failures into a central election issue. By focusing on water shortages, infrastructure decay, and financial mismanagement. While the political war over the Lesufi billboard dominates headlines, the deeper crisis facing Johannesburg may be far more alarming than any campaign advertisement. Experts warn that the city's infrastructure is approaching a breaking point. Aging water pipes, neglected sewage systems, crumbling roads, and failing electricity networks have created what analysts describe as a structural crisis decades in the making. At the center of the problem is a staggering financial gap. Reports estimate that Johannesburg faces an infrastructure backlog of nearly R300 billion, the amount required to repair and modernize critical systems across the city. Yet the funds currently available to tackle these problems are only a tiny fraction of what is needed. The city reportedly has around R1.7 billion allocated for infrastructure repairs, a figure many economists say barely scratches the surface of the real costs. A mathematical impossibility. To understand the scale of the challenge, consider the numbers. If Johannesburg spends about R1.7 billion per year fixing infrastructure, it could take more than 170 years to close a R300 billion backlog, assuming the damage stops growing today. In reality, infrastructure continues to age and break down every year. This means the city is effectively falling further behind, not catching up. For residents already facing water shortages, electricity outages, and sewage spills, the crisis is no longer theoretical. It is something they experience daily. Why the anger is growing? In areas like Soweto, long considered a political stronghold of the African National Congress, public frustration is becoming more visible. Community gatherings and political events have increasingly turned tense, with some residents openly criticizing leaders over service delivery failures. For many voters, the issue is simple: after decades of promises, basic services should be reliable. A battle over narratives.